Hi YouTube, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Nika. I play Isaac every single day, and if you're not new here, welcome back! Hey guys, how are you doing? Happy Tuesday! Right? I think it's Tuesday. I feel like it's Tuesday. I hope the game's not too loud right now. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. How are you guys doing? How have you been treating yourselves? Happy Thanksgiving Eve if you're in the States. I don't actually know if there's anywhere else in the country that is celebrating Thanksgiving at the same time that the United States does or not. I should know. The only other thing I know is that the Canadian Thanksgiving is in October, but I can't even remember if Thanksgiving is a big holiday anywhere else. This is terrifying. This is terrifying. Consumes to teleport to a special floor consisting of rooms holding all obtainable mid-quality pedestal items in the game. Picking up one pedestal item teleports Isaac back to the location where death certificate was used. I feel like I got that before, and I feel like I didn't understand, and I think it was literally just the items I had. Even though that doesn't really say that. Like, it says all obtainable, but is that supposed to mean all the ones you already have obtained? I don't know, and I'm not willing to risk it. It's not worth 25 cents regardless, really, to me anyways. I would just take, like, regular death certificate. I'm sure it's better than I'm understanding, because I don't know what this does. Ossified penny. Period. Ossify your penny, bitch. Anyways, so, I'm not gonna take it, because I don't want to spend 25 cents on that anyways. I'm sure it's good. Everything else in this mod has been absolutely fantastic. It sounds like they have a deep understanding of Isaac part 475, but I want to make sure. Today we are playing Azazel on hard mode. I'm just playing the shit that's going to piss you guys off, I guess, because you guys don't like greed mode and you don't like Azazel. But I love greed mode and I love Azazel. And I also argue that there are many other characters that are very overpowered that people never point to, because I think Azazel's part of that, like, hate train that I think occurs sometimes in the Isaac community. Not to say that it isn't an easy character, but I don't even think that makes it worthy of hatred. So, I'm going to play Azazel, and I'm going to play Azazel on hard mode, just to, I don't know, make it harder so I get less complaints or something. I don't know. I personally love Azazel, and although flying is genuinely powerful, and it's one of the better things you can get in a run, I also think the low range absolutely sucks, especially for a lot of the bosses, and I think there's good potential to have very interesting runs with Azazel. Will I have an interesting run today with Azazel? I have no idea, because on any given day I have no idea if I'm going to have an interesting run or not, but there's a decent chance that I do, so, like, maybe. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about, like, tolerance and stuff, because Thanksgiving is coming up for my fellow Americans and anybody in the audience who is American, and even if you're not, I think talking about distress tolerance and tolerance in general is a good thing to do, and since you guys like when I yap, and people sometimes find it helpful, I wanted to talk about it, because Thanksgiving, and in general, the holidays coming up, so, like, let's say you celebrate, no! Let's say you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. They're all coming up. Infestation is really good. So it's a good idea to think about how you're going to treat yourself and how you're going to treat your family and others in the holidays before the holidays come. I guess I should have had this conversation more than 2 days before Thanksgiving. What is even going on with it? And what the hell is this? Rerolls each pedestal item in the room to 1 to 3 ahead or 1 to 3 behind item ID. I don't know the item IDs, so I don't think it's a good idea, and I'm probably going to go Angel Deal, so I don't need to bomb that either. I'm just going to move on. And we already found the boss, which I, for some reason, did not notice, so good for me. Tolerance. Again, I can't speak, ever, actually. Distress tolerance is something that I'm working really heavily on, because I don't have a whole lot of it. It's part of the reason why, like, I can't watch, like, a super heavy, conflicted, like, everything is drama-ridden show or movie right now. It's just too much for me in whatever mental health capacity I'm in, which is low and bad. So distress tolerance is something that's been on my mind a lot lately, just because range up is so good, yeah. We're gonna go Angel. It's been on my mind because it's something that I'm working on, and I think it takes baby steps, right? But in terms of a holiday, and in terms of seeing your family, or sometimes friends or distant friends, or that partner of your friend that you really don't like, or whoever, right? Maybe you have family that doesn't agree with you on the political spectrum, or whatever the case may be. It can be a lot harder to tolerate distress in those types of situations, especially because interaction can be so triggering. And it can bring up the past, and the past can be bad and be triggering. So it's a lot harder to tolerate that kind of distress or tolerate that kind of discomfort, especially today in the current political climate and things like that. It's hard. It's not easy to, I don't know, it's not easy to deal with. But my tips for you are to, first of all, start off protecting whatever peace you have. I don't know, paralysis is so fun. I love that. I don't know what kind of peace you do have or where you are in your own life mentally, but find something that helps you protect your sanity a little bit and keep it close to you. Whether it's a pair of headphones so you can listen to music in the background, earbuds especially are helpful, especially if your family thinks it's like rude to do. Or if it's like bringing your favorite game that your family will play that tends to keep the other shitty conversations at bay. Or if it's taking a moment and like giving yourself a 20-minute break every hour or two. Like whatever you need to do to get through the holidays, especially if you're around people that don't bring you joy and it's unavoidable, keep your own peace. That's honestly the best thing that you can do for yourself in these cases, because there's really nothing else that you can do. Treasure room pull items on pickup. Picking up one makes it with your spirit. We'll do birthright Eden. I like that they've separated them by the characters. It repels enemies and captures breakout for 3 seconds upon killing. I am going to take... Ooh, I think I'm actually going to take Birthright Eve. I haven't seen that yet, but I do think it sounds good. It's always got a Horror Babylon going on. And actually, we got all the rooms, so I'm just gonna fly through it, really. Mostly because I have a lot to do today. And a lot to do in general to kind of get ready for the holidays that I should have done before, but I didn't think about it. So yeah, okay, so step 1, protect your peace. That's like the very first thing you can do. Because here's the thing, too. If you're coming from a place of, like, your blood pressure is fucking rising and you're just anxious and upset and you can't think straight and you can't curate your thoughts or take a moment or take a deep breath, it's going to be a lot harder to deal with stuff, especially if someone says something shitty or somebody asks you a question you really don't want to hear, or maybe your family's not kind to you about like gender identity, like whatever the case. It can be really sensitive things and it can be things that don't matter as much. Either way, it's very, very difficult to come correctly at somebody when you're upset. Not that everybody always deserves that, but if it's family and it's a holiday, you might not want to make a scene. Do I always agree with that? No. Sometimes I'm like, let that bitch know, but that's not like the right thing to do a lot of the time. Especially if it's, say, like a family member that your parent grew up with or something, or somebody who's kind of like dear to the family. It doesn't mean that they're okay to do whatever the fuck, but in reality, sometimes causing a scene is the wrong thing to do. And so, like, being able to have a response to things that piss you off is a lot easier when you're not like at 10, when you could be at like a 5. Secondly, my second piece of advice to tolerate the distress is to plan for it a little bit. So if you know that Auntie Josephine is always going to comment on your boobs because she thinks that you could use a boob lift or something, I made that shit straight the fuck up, by the way. I don't have an Auntie Josephine. But, you know, you might know that she's going to make that shitty comment again. And maybe you tell your parent or whoever is there with you, if it's your partner, if you're going to your partner's family's house, which makes it a lot harder, if it's like a Friendsgiving, whatever the case, right? Like if it's somebody who just says some shit, you have an idea of what they're going to say, you prepare for it. Let somebody know that you're dreading those comments and that you don't want to hear them. If you have somebody who is safe to you to talk to, because it's going to be like, it's kind of imperative, like if you do have that available to you, to use it. What is achievement point? I don't know what that is. Only usable in the boss room? Oh, okay. Oh, I think I got that before and just like didn't pay attention. They might be able to move the conversation to another topic or keep your family member from doing or saying something shittier to you or leaving you alone with that person. If somebody knows how you're feeling and what you're anticipating and they care about you, they'll be by your side, right? They'll be about you. That's one of the things that you could do. The other thing you could do is pick a response and stick to it. So if you know that Uncle David is going to make really, really creepy comments about your outfit, you could start off with having a response. I think that's a bad example because, to be honest with you, family should absolutely nip that shit in the bud regardless of where you are or what you're doing, but I digress. What the hell is this? Drops cracked key on pickup, spawns 1 cracked key in the starting room of the next run, reveals the location of ultra secret rooms on the map. I'm going to take it over the other one. I'm not going to keep the cracked key just because I have a full card that I want. And I think I want my trinket. Which it doesn't affect trinket anyways, but still. So it's gonna sit there, but good to know that it'll do something for the next run. Ace of Hearts. I'm gonna keep my Ace of Hearts, actually. I was gonna keep my Fool, but that doesn't really matter anymore because I got another card that I like. So having somebody in your corner is important. Secondly, would be having a response ready to go so that you're not on the fly, like you know that these comments are coming or that somebody might say something, and you don't have to know exactly what's coming. You just might know every single time I see my family, they say something about me. If they make a comment about your weight, if they make a comment about the way that you look, if you have no idea what the comment's going to be but you know it's coming, there's always a good way to have a good response. So one thing you could say is, I'm not having a conversation about this right now, but I appreciate you asking about me, even if you fucking don't. If you're really about keeping the peace and you want to make sure that you come across respectfully, you could say that. You could say something like, I would rather do anything else than talk about this right now. That's another one. It works, it's short, it's succinct, it doesn't cause you to say a lot. And if somebody pushed, you could be like, I just said I would rather do anything else, and I meant it. And then you could go do something else. It's a great excuse for you to walk away, also, because you said you were going to walk away. And those are, I guess, sticking to your word, like, you communicated clearly, and anything that comes from that is not on you. You know what I mean? You could do something like, oh, I had an idea in my head and I lost it because I was yapping so much about the other one. I hate whenever I do that. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. You could do something like asking them for clarification. Be like, why did you just say that? Or what about that was funny to you? Or can you explain the joke to me? I'm not understanding what's funny. Because that puts people in a very uncomfortable position and it forces them to think about what they just said and either reiterate it and explain it in detail or shut the fuck up. And it's a very effective trick that a lot of people on the internet lately have been giving people to do. They're giving that advice. So try that one if you don't feel confident to, like, set a clear boundary or step away. You could just force them to explain themselves. And it's really not harmful. Like, unless that person's also on the internet and they're super internet pilled, they're not going to even know that's what you're doing. And it forces them to think about what they're saying. I really, really like that one, honestly, and I'm probably going to utilize it myself in the future whenever the timing comes up. So let me know how that one works if you do ever try it. There are a lot of different things that you could say at the end of the day. You could simply ignore them. You could say nothing. Saying nothing is effective as well. You don't owe anybody a response to something that's inflammatory. Even if they don't mean it to be inflammatory, that doesn't mean that you owe them a response. I've been saying this a lot, and I'll say it again. Everybody is not a supervillain, and everybody doesn't have bad intentions, but it doesn't take away the hurt. It doesn't. It's like if somebody says something very racist, and they go, well, I didn't mean it. Well, that's great, but that's what you said. So now you have to own up to what you said, and if you really didn't mean it that way, then there should be no issue apologizing and explaining what you did mean. So, you know, you can suss out when people are just saying shit because they want to say shit and they don't want to be called out versus, like, when somebody truly means what they say. This is really good. I don't know why that doesn't count as a tier 4 item. I feel like it should. Slows all enemies down for, maybe not tier 4, but, you know, it should be up there. I feel like I should be fucking dancing. Slowing all enemies down for 8 seconds is really good. So, what floor am I on? I'm on Acropolis 1. I'm just gonna save my Ace of Hearts and go. I don't want to, like, I mean, I didn't use it. I forgot to. I didn't feel like I really had a room where I, like, 100% needed to use it. And that was part of the reason why I didn't. But I kind of wish I did, because now I have to carry it with me to the next floor. Which is fine. Tears Up is good. So far, we've talked about keeping yourself at, like, a 5 rather than a 10 the best way you can. It can be an 8 rather than a 9. It can be a 2 rather than a 4. It doesn't matter what the scale is or where you start. It matters trying to keep yourself down from the highest it can go. So if you can feel yourself riling up to a fucking 8 and you're like, I'm gonna tweak out because I'm so upset, try to keep yourself at a 7. And if you can keep yourself at a 7 and that's easy, try to keep yourself at a 6. You know what I mean? So, like, keeping yourself somewhere where you're keeping any ounce of your peace is a very good start. Secondly, would be being prepared for shitty comments or things that might trigger you. Think about how your family dynamic is. Think about who you are. Think about who you have on your side, somebody that you can tell so that you feel like you have somebody who can be sort of your escape route if that's possible. And if not, I would suggest both if you can, but if that's not possible, making sure that you have some sort of, not dialogue, you don't have to have an entire conversation in your head, but just responses you can pull out of a grab bag at any given time. If somebody does say something shitty or a topic comes up, it doesn't have to be somebody's attacking you. It could be somebody starts talking about politics and you just really don't want to do it this year. You just want to protect your peace and enjoy your holiday. Politely step out of the conversation. This conversation isn't for me. I'm gonna go anything. I'm gonna go look at this food. I'm gonna go get a snack. I'm gonna go take a drink. I'm gonna go get some fresh air. Like, literally whatever you can do to move yourself away from the situation. The best thing that you can do is not be afraid to remove yourself. Talking back might get you in trouble, and hey, actually removing yourself might get you some comments later on, but it's better than absolutely tweaking on, I don't know, Uncle Joey because he said some fuck shit and you just couldn't handle it, which makes sense. And then obviously just, you know, holding a boundary if you can, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Holding a boundary and sticking to it and not being coerced out of it's really good. Those are some of the things that I think about just like in general for distress tolerance. Like if somebody says something shitty, I don't want to pop off right away because that's not the kind of person that I am. I'm grateful and I'm lucky that that's not my nature to begin with. But sometimes people have said some shit to me and I'm like, okay, not because it's like to me, but because who the fuck are you? Oh God, he looks a little rough. You good, King? You look a little fucked up or whatever. I genuinely wish you guys so much luck with handling your families and people you don't like. Like, the worst thing in the world about the holidays to me, even though I'm literally obsessed with the holidays, is that sometimes you have to deal with shit. Like, you're going to the holidays and it can be fun and exciting, but then, like, you have to deal with the fact that your brother is homophobic or your parents just really don't understand, I don't know, not being shitty. Like, I don't know, whatever it is. I can't think of anything specific, but like, it sucks. It sucks because like everybody deserves to feel comfy and warm and to enjoy the holidays that apply to them, whether they're religious or whether they're not religious, whether they're like federally observed or not. It doesn't matter. All holidays are sacred and special to a lot of people, and you deserve to enjoy yourself. And it does bum me out that people don't get to do that sometimes. What in the whole fuck is this? Oh, spawns a golden trinket. Okay, Dad's box, Lamau. Dad, why do you have a Badussi? I don't like that sentence, especially because I have a father. This is +1 health, and even though the other one is 1/3 stun, I need an HP up, I fear. I need an HP up, I fear. And now I want to talk a little bit about if you have eating issues, if you have an eating disorder, or food makes you anxious, because that's me. I don't have a lot of tips because that's literally the boat that I am in. I am absolutely terrified of eating a lot of the food I grew up eating. I mean, my mom fed me Thanksgiving food every single year reliably for, well, I'm 27, so it'll be 27 years. And I'm terrified, even though my mom knows how to fucking throw down. It's gonna be unbelievably delicious. I'm not scared about that. But food safety stuff makes me anxious. I didn't go to the store and see the food being bought. I feel anxious about stuff like that. I also have a lot of dietary restrictions, both because of my disabilities and because of my brain, which is also a disability. But either way, they're all legitimate. They're all things that I can't deal with, like texture, food allergies. I don't digest certain meats properly. I'm lactose intolerant to the extreme. All kinds of stuff, right? Like, there's so many things that can affect you at any given holiday where there's food, and especially if your family doesn't really understand, or you struggle deeply with an eating disorder, or you're fucking like me and you don't really look like you struggle with an eating disorder, but it's hospitalized you before, like, whatever the case may be, right? Like, there are so many different versions of food and food enjoyment and eating, and there's so much different culture around food and how families utilize food to spend time together, or if they don't and so it's awkward, or maybe somebody just doesn't know how to fucking cook. Like, maybe you know you're about to go and you have to deal with Aunt Bertha's greens, and if you don't eat her greens, she's gonna tweak, but you know that shit tastes like it's cooked for 47 hours, like, whatever the case, right? Food can be really anxiety inducing, and if you have issues, or even if you don't have issues but you're just on a diet or whatever, right? Like, that's what I'm trying to get at, I guess. I'm giving so many examples just so you guys understand how many different ways having food issues or dietary restrictions or whatever the case can make a blip in a holiday, where usually there's alcohol, food, lots of unhealthy food. Sleeping bunny. Oh, that is so cute. My advice for you would be this one. So if it's something like an allergy or a food intolerance, or you feel like you could absolutely have a panic attack at the thought of eating something, I would say stand your ground firm. It might be uncomfortable, and if you're a kid, it's going to be a lot harder. Although if you're a kid, why are you watching? Why are you watching my channel? But if you're an adult, you gotta stand your ground at some point. Especially if you don't live at home and you have the ability to leave, it might not be easy. And we're not all in the same situation, so I know that there are some situations where you just can't say anything, and I've been in those situations. But if you are not in that specific situation and you could say something but it scares you, food is the time to practice. That's a good distress tolerance practice right there, because those are very serious things. You don't want to ruin your entire holiday because everybody's drinking and you feel like you have to, or everybody, Tear Sound sucks, or everybody is, I don't know, like eating ham and you don't eat pork. Like, whatever the case may be, you don't want to ruin your holiday or go against your dietary restrictions or preferences for somebody else's comfort. Fuck that. Fuck that noise. If somebody loves and respects you the way that they should, especially as family, they will understand what you do and do not eat. Every year, without fail, I see some story of somebody who's either a vegan or not a vegan who goes to a Thanksgiving that is entirely not catered for them. Nobody thought about them. And I see those stories often, and those ones always suck to me because it's so easy to have an option for somebody, especially in a family. Like, some people have fucking crazy, gigantic get-togethers, and I understand that entirely, but like, even then, if you know you're inviting somebody who has an allergy or a food restriction or religiously can't eat XYZ, you gotta make sure you're like caring. And I think those stories are the easiest to avoid. Like, it's not always easy to avoid just clashing personalities because we don't get to pick our families, they're given to us a lot of the time. Found family obviously being something completely different. But like, food, I mean, if you're a good host, you make sure that people gonna eat what you gonna make. And, you know, if somebody has serious dietary restrictions, of course they might not eat or something. But then making a spectacle out of it, or continually offering food or making comments about it, is just a shitty thing to do. Like, everybody has a different situation with food, and if you're lucky, you don't have anything going on and you can eat whatever's in front of you, but a lot of us can't. So my advice would be twofold, right? Don't make fun of other people for eating the way that they are. Don't make fun of people for not liking certain foods. Don't make fun of people. And on the other hand, if somebody's giving you a hard time, or you can't eat everything that's in front of you, or you're anxious about it, stick your ground. You don't have to tell everybody either. Tell whoever's cooking, or tell your parent, or tell your partner, or whoever, and make sure they know. And then if you don't want to talk about it, you could just be like, this is just a choice I made, and whoever's hosting or whatever, they understand, and, you know, I'm not offending anybody. And then there you go. It doesn't have to be a conversation. And the biggest thing about distress tolerance, I think a lot of us don't understand, is that it doesn't have to be a conversation. It applies for everything. Like, everything doesn't have to be a conversation, and everybody is not owed an explanation. Sure, you don't want to be, like, fucking rude. Like, I don't think it has to be severe. You don't have to, like, tell someone to shut the fuck up just because they're asking you a simple question, especially family. But if you don't want to have a conversation about something, or you feel like it doesn't need to be talked about, or it's outside of your comfort zone, then, like, don't. You know, I think it's a good idea to try to open your mind and being able to express yourself, but I don't feel like the holidays specifically are, like, the time. Like, I don't think you need to, like, test yourself to, like, have a very difficult conversation with the uncle you see once a year or twice a year. I don't feel like that's necessary. I think it's a good idea to do that at a later time and to give yourself the peace and room to enjoy your holiday the way that you'd like to enjoy it. So, I hope any of this is helping you guys. It might not be. Maybe this is just shit you already know. But I like talking about it, and I think it's important to talk about. And if you guys have anything else you want to talk about in the comments, you can leave it down below, and I can talk about it in tomorrow's video. Up to you guys. But I just think a lot of us feel a lot of, like, depression and anxiety and antsiness and kind of like the want for everything to just be over around the holiday season. And you might not ever love the holidays, but I hate that for people. It shouldn't be a time of stress. Like, and this is a time where gift giving becomes a thing. Listen, the economy is tough. People are not made out of money, and everybody can't do everything they want to do for the holidays. And I think... I thought I heard my phone ring. I think it's the thought that counts, like, and I mean that genuinely, like having... Obviously, if you give somebody a dirty, cum-filled sock or something, you're being a dick. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like, there are some objectively thoughtless gifts, But that doesn't apply to the thought that counts. Like, you can't give somebody a piece of dog shit and say it's a thought that counts. My guy, if you thought, you wouldn't be handing me this gift right now. Like, there are obviously exceptions to the rule, but I personally think in general it's the thought that counts. Can it even be in this room? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. And knowing that it's a thought that counts, put some thought into how you're going to show appreciation for people. If you can't, and all you can do is show up, is communicate that, and there you go. And, you know, some people are going to be completely fine with that, and some people are going to be upset about it, or some people will say, okay, we aren't exchanging gifts, and you might get whatever less, but the whole point of the holiday isn't just giving gifts. Do I love gift giving? Yes, I will give somebody a gift even if they're not giving me one, because I just fucking love gift giving, and it's part of my love language, and I love wrapping presents and watching people open them. And even if they're like not super ecstatic, I'm not looking for any reaction, I just love giving people shit. Then, like, yeah, you know, it's a thing. But, you know, if it's not your love language and you're not super big on it, or you're anxious about it or whatever, like, you just gotta let it be what it is. Like, you can't control the situation that you're in any more than you probably are trying to. And so whatever is out of your control is out of your control. Like, don't let somebody guilt you for not getting them a goddamn MacBook Pro or something. Like, nobody needs that. And the other thing is that, like, nobody is obligated to get anybody anything at any time. Gifts are optional. Obviously, there are some societal examples where, like, you don't show up empty-handed, but that's not Christmas unless you've already stated that. Like, if you're entering, like, a, whatever it's called, white elephant, I don't know, fuck, Secret Santa, that's what I call them. If you're entering, like, a Secret Santa and you're agreeing to take part in the Secret Santa, then yes, you need to bring something. But unless you're doing something specific like that, communication will always be key. And that's with any kind of holiday event or distress tolerance or anything. Like, just communicate, too. If you're not feeling up for it, or you're not feeling well, or you feel anxious and antsy about something and you communicate, there's nothing else that you really can do. Like, obviously you don't want to have the same problems plaguing you for your own personal life for the rest of your life, but that has nothing to do with what other people are receiving from you. If you're never going to be the kind of person that enjoys the holidays or whatever, then you never are. And if you communicate, there's really nothing anybody else can look for from you. It's just their decision at that point if they want to spend time around you in the holidays. Like, I personally can't fucking stand when someone unnecessarily bah humbugs me. Like, it's just really fucking annoying, because, like, I don't care if you don't like the holidays, but, like, don't try to ruin mine. That shit's so lame for no fucking reason. But, you know, that's up to me. Like, okay, maybe I don't want to spend time around this person around the holidays. Maybe I don't bring up the holidays to them. Like, there's definitely some family events where, like, people talk about how shit Christmas is, and I'm like, bro, no, like, we don't have to rehash this every single fucking year. Like, you don't like it, but I do. And honestly, it's one of the only things I look forward to the entire year. The whole year. Is that anybody else's problem? No, but you just don't say shit around. Like, being thoughtful is a two-way street. So, removes all items that do not practically help the loss from all pools. That makes sense, but I'm not the loss. I think that would fuck me actually right now. I think a lot of good items would be removed from the pool. I mean, I'm at the end of the run regardless, so it doesn't. I don't even remember the last time I got hit. Probably like this floor, but I don't remember, so that felt jarring. Most importantly, though, guys, enjoy it. Enjoy it in the way that you like to enjoy it. Like, for example, one of the things I literally love about the holiday season is sledding. I didn't even go sledding for the first time until I was 25 years old. Like, I'd never gone sledding, and it has nothing to inherently do with Christmas. But when I think about, like, what I loved about all the Christmas specials when I was a kid is that motherfuckers were just living their life on a day-to-day basis, getting ready for the holiday to arrive, and they were doing little stuff before that. Like Caillou, SpongeBob, all of the ones that I used to absolutely love were, like, doing things or going through the advent calendar with you in the story. Like, it doesn't have to be about the day itself. Like, if you enjoy Christmas season because you really like carolers, then that's something. Maybe you like sledding. Maybe you like making Christmas cookies, or maybe you just like window shopping for all the cute gifts and like holiday themed things, or maybe you like going to see decorated homes because they're beautiful, or going to see the lights because they look pretty. Like, you don't have to like the same things about the holidays that other people do, but it's a part of your life, and it's a time of the year that you're not going to be able to entirely avoid. So trying to enjoy it the best way that you can is going to be optimal for you. It's going to be a lot harder if you don't. but it's a lot easier to enjoy the holidays if you allow yourself to enjoy the holidays in a way that suits you. So, that's my biggest advice, I guess, is like, enjoy what you can. Don't enjoy things because somebody else does or the way that you think you need to. Just do it for you. I have successfully yapped until the very last boss of the run, which is great because I don't have much time to edit today, which is like less than even usual. Like, I really gotta get going. So I was like, what can I talk about this video? And then I remembered that I've been wanting to talk about this, and I was like, fuck it, we'll do it. I have so much to yap about. I really do hope it helped you guys literally at all, and I hope watching Isaac also helped you to like stay calm through the conversation, because I know some people get anxiety just from talking about the holidays alone, and that sucks. But we won, which obviously, because, you know, I was gonna win anyways. Yeah, but I love Azazel, I love Greed Mode, I love the holidays, but most importantly, I love you guys. So thank you for being here and supporting me and liking and subscribing. Oh my god, thank you. Please subscribe. I'll be here tomorrow and I'll post on Thursday as well. But I just want to let you guys know that I love you all very much and I care about you. And if you need to, if you're anxious, if you need to say something, I have a Discord in the description and you can send me a message. You can send it in the general chat if you want multiple people to tune in. You can send it to just me, or you can send it to the advice channel in my Discord. Anything that you need, because I know this time of year is hard, and I literally loathe the idea of one of my community, especially being completely alone when I'm right here. So, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you in the next video, and until then, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye!